I had bought a $5,000 table at her company's annual gala, supporting her Career Achievement Award. When they announced Claire accepts this award with grateful thanks to her husband Michael for his unwavering support, and a different man walked on stage to embrace her. Hey friends, please subscribe and turn on notifications, like this video, and leave a comment with your impressions. This will be a great help. Thank you. We never tire of reminding you. It's all thanks to you. Charlotte in mid-November settles into that corporate rhythm where the fall charity galas and industry awards ceremonies dominate the social calendar. Uptown glittering with events at luxury hotels. Everyone informal were navigating between networking and celebration. The banking and finance crowd that defines the city showing out for their annual recognition season. I'm 38. Work as a management consultant specializing in financial services transformation, the kind of work where I'm constantly advising banks and investment firms on strategy and operations, where professional reputation and industry connections matter tremendously. Claire is 34, works as a vice president of commercial lending at one of Charlotte's major regional banks, managing a portfolio of corporate clients and leading a team of loan officers. Ambitious, polished, always networking and building relationships, constantly talking about deals she's closing and leadership development programs. We'd been together for 2 years and 3 months, not living together, but spending most weekends at each other's places, the kind of serious relationship where marriage felt like the natural next step, even though we hadn't officially discussed it yet. The gala situation had developed over the fall. Claire's bank, Carolina First Bank, held an annual Industry Excellence Gala every November, a black tie event that recognized top performers across the Charlotte banking sector. Awards in different categories, keynote speakers, networking, the whole corporate celebration experience. In early October, Claire had mentioned she'd been nominated for the Rising Star Award, given to banking professionals under 40 who demonstrated exceptional leadership and results. She was excited but trying to stay humble about it. There are 5 nominees in my category. I probably won't win, but it's an honor to be nominated. I'd been supportive. You've had an incredible year. You deserve the recognition. The gala was November 16th at the Ritz-Carlton Uptown. Tables were expensive, $5,000 for a table of 10, the kind of corporate event where companies bought tables for their executives and key clients. Claire had mentioned that her bank would have several tables, but she'd be seated with other nominees and award presenters, not with her regular team. I wish you could sit with me, but the seating is all predetermined by the event organizers. No problem. Do you want me to come? I can buy a table, bring some of my banking clients. Good networking opportunity. She'd hesitated. You don't have to do that. It's expensive. I want to support you. And honestly, having a table at the Charlotte banking industry's biggest event is good for my consulting business. Let me buy a table. She'd agreed. I'd purchased a table in early October, $5,000, seats for 10. I'd invited 8 clients and colleagues from various banks I worked with, positioned it as a networking opportunity. Then there was Claire's preparation. The gala was black tie. She wanted to look perfect, especially as a nominee. She'd needed a gown, professional hair and makeup, the full treatment. She'd found a designer gown she loved, $3,200. Beautiful, elegant, appropriate for the event. But it was more than she wanted to spend. I'd offered to pay for it. This is your night. You should feel confident and beautiful. Let me cover the gown and the styling. She'd been grateful, said I was being incredibly supportive. I'd paid for the gown, plus another $500 for her hair and makeup appointment the day of the event. Total investment, $8,700. The table, her gown, her styling. Supporting her career achievement. That was 6 weeks ago. The gala was tonight, Saturday, November 16th. That afternoon, Claire had texted me. Getting ready with my styling team. Going straight to the Ritz from the salon. I'll see you there. Can't wait. 2 hearts. I'd replied. You're going to be amazing. See you tonight. I'd gotten ready at my place in Dilworth, picked up 2 of my clients who lived nearby, and we'd driven to the Ritz-Carlton together around 6 p.m. The ballroom was spectacular. Maybe 250 people, dozens of tables with elegant settings, a stage with AV set up for the awards presentation, the atmosphere buzzing with Charlotte's banking elite in formal wear. I found my table, table 42, toward the back, but with a decent view of the stage. My 8 guests were arriving, greeting each other, networking already. Good turnout. I looked for Claire. Scanned the room. Saw her across the ballroom at table 8, much closer to the stage, the nominees' table apparently. She looked stunning in the gown I'd bought, hair and makeup perfect, talking with other people at her table. She saw me, gave a small wave and smile. I waved back. The event started at 7 with cocktail hour, then dinner at 7:30. I networked with my table guests, made introductions, discussed industry trends. Good conversations, worthwhile connections. Around 8:30, the lights dimmed for the awards presentation. A senior banking executive took the stage as MC. Welcome to Carolina First Bank's 15th Annual Industry Excellence Gala. Tonight, we celebrate the best and brightest in Charlotte's banking community. The program began. Various awards in different categories. Commercial Banker of the Year. Best Mortgage Team. Innovation in Digital Banking. Each winner came up, accepted their award, gave brief remarks. Around 9 p.m., they reached Claire's category. Our next award is Rising Star, recognizing exceptional banking professionals under 40 who demonstrate outstanding leadership, client service, and results. This year's nominees represent the future of Charlotte banking. They showed photos of the 5 nominees on screens, including Claire. Brief bios for each. Applause. And the winner of this year's Rising Star Award is Claire Donovan from Carolina First Bank. Applause erupted. Claire stood from her table, smiling, began walking toward the stage. The MC continued. Claire has led her commercial lending team to record results this year while mentoring junior staff and serving on multiple community boards. She accepts this award with grateful thanks to her husband Michael for his unwavering support throughout her career. Wait, what? Husband Michael? I sat there confused. I was Ryan, not Michael. Claire reached the stage. The MC handed her the award, a crystal trophy. Then a man stood up from table 8, the same table Claire had been sitting at, and walked onto the stage. Tall, early 30s, wearing a perfectly tailored tuxedo. He walked directly to Claire and embraced her. Kissed her. A real kiss, not a professional peck. The room applauded. Claire took the microphone. Thank you so much for this incredible honor. I'm humbled to be recognized among such talented peers. I have to thank my team at Carolina First. You make me look good every day. And most importantly, my husband Michael. She gestured to the man standing next to her on stage, who has supported me through every late night and weekend working, who believes in me even when I doubt myself, who makes everything possible. This award belongs to both of us. The man, Michael, smiled, put his arm around her waist. More applause. I sat at table 42 feeling like I was having an out-of-body experience. Claire had just accepted an award thanking her husband Michael. A man who wasn't me. A man who'd kissed her on stage. A man she'd called her husband in front of 250 banking industry professionals. My table guests were applauding politely, not noticing my confusion. Why would they? They didn't know Claire well. This was a networking event for them. Claire and Michael left the stage together, walked back to table 8 hand in hand. The awards ceremony continued. More categories, more winners. I sat there in shock, barely processing anything. Around 9:45, the formal program ended. The MC thanked everyone for attending, encouraged continued networking, announced that the bar would remain open for another hour. People stood, began mingling between tables. Music started playing, background jazz for networking. I sat at my table trying to figure out what I'd just witnessed. One of my clients leaned over. Ryan, you okay? You look pale. I'm fine. Just need some air. Excuse me for a moment. I stood, walked toward the back of the ballroom. Needed to find Claire. Needed to understand what the hell was happening. I saw her near the stage, surrounded by people congratulating her. Michael was next to her, his arm around her waist, both of them smiling and thanking well-wishers. I approached the group. Claire saw me. Her smile faltered for a fraction of a second, then recovered. Ryan. Hi. Thanks for coming. She turned to the people around her. This is Ryan Parker, a management consultant who works with several banks in Charlotte. Ryan, these are some colleagues from Carolina First. Handshakes, polite greetings. I was being introduced as a professional contact, not as her boyfriend of over 2 years. Congratulations on the award, I said to Claire. My voice sounded strange to my own ears. Thank you. I'm still in shock that I won. Your husband must be very proud. I looked directly at Michael. Michael extended his hand. Michael Donovan. And yes, incredibly proud. Claire's worked so hard for this. Michael Donovan. Same last name as Claire. I shook his hand. Ryan Parker. How long have you two been married? 7 years this past June, Michael said proudly. Best decision I ever made. 7 years. Claire looked like she might faint. That's wonderful, I said. Claire, could I speak with you privately for a moment? Quick consulting question about a client situation. She looked panicked, but couldn't refuse in front of her colleagues. Of course. Excuse us for just a moment. We walked toward a quieter corner of the ballroom, near the exit to the hallway. As soon as we were out of earshot, I turned to her. 7 years? You've been married for 7 years. Ryan, I can explain. Explain how you've been married to Michael Donovan for 7 years while in a relationship with me for over 2 years. I was going to tell you. When? Before or after I spent $8,000 supporting your career achievement tonight. The table I bought, the gown I paid for, the styling. Also, you could accept an award thanking your husband. I didn't know they were going to mention Michael in the announcement. Does he know about me? No. So Michael thinks he's married to you, exclusively. I thought I was in a serious relationship with you, heading toward engagement. Neither of us knew about the other. She was crying now, mascara starting to run. I didn't mean for this to happen. You're wearing a wedding ring. I grabbed her left hand. Sure enough, there was a ring. I'd never noticed it before because she always wore it on her right hand when we were together. Tonight, for the gala, it was on her left ring finger. Where was this ring every time we were together? I moved it to my right hand. Told you it was my grandmother's ring. I remembered. She'd always worn a ring on her right hand. Said it was a family heirloom. I'd never questioned it. You've been married the entire time we've been together. Living with Michael, wearing your wedding ring in public, maintaining a marriage, and spending weekends with me, moving your ring to the other hand, pretending to be single. Michael travels a lot for work. He's gone during the week. It was easy to keep things separate. What does Michael do? He's a pilot. He flies international routes. He's gone 3 or 4 days at a time. So when he's traveling, you're with me. When he's home, you're with him. You've been rotating between us based on his flight schedule. It's more complicated than that. It's not complicated. You're married. You have a husband. You also have a boyfriend. You've been lying to both of us. What are you going to do? I'm going to tell Michael. Right now. Ryan, please, not here, not tonight. This is my career. You should have thought about your career before you committed fraud to get me to spend $8,000 on this event. I paid for that table under false pretenses. I paid for your gown thinking I was supporting my girlfriend's achievement. You're someone's wife. Please don't ruin this night. You ruined it when you thanked your husband on stage while I sat in the audience. I walked back toward table 8. Claire followed, trying to stop me, but we were crossing the ballroom and she couldn't make a scene. Michael was at the table, talking with other people. I approached. Michael, could I speak with you privately? It's important. He looked surprised but nodded. Sure. Is everything okay? Not really. We walked toward the hallway outside the ballroom. Claire followed, panicking. Once we were in the hallway, away from the crowd, I turned to Michael. I need to tell you something about your wife. Claire and I have been in a relationship for over 2 years. I had no idea she was married until tonight. Michael stared at me. What are you talking about? Claire and I have been dating since August 2 years ago. We spend weekends together, take trips together. I've been supporting her career. I bought the table tonight thinking she was my girlfriend. I paid for her gown. I had no idea you existed until you walked on stage as her husband. Michael looked at Claire. Is this true? She was sobbing. Michael, I can explain. Are you in a relationship with him? Yes, she whispered. For 2 years. Yes. Michael's face went white. While married to me. You're always traveling. You're never home. I was lonely, so you started a relationship with someone else. For 2 years. While married to me. I didn't mean for it to get this serious. I pulled out my phone, showed Michael my text thread with Claire. Months of messages, clearly romantic, making plans, saying, I love you. The whole relationship documented. Michael looked through the messages with a growing expression of disgust. You told him you loved him. You made plans with him. You've been living a double life. I love both of you. You don't love me, Michael said. You love the stability of being married to a pilot with a good salary. And you love having a boyfriend for when I'm traveling. That's not fair. I stepped in. Michael, did you know I paid for her gown tonight? And her hair and makeup? $3,700 total. Michael looked at Claire. He paid for your gown? The gown you told me you bought with your bonus. I needed it for tonight. So you had your boyfriend buy your gown for an event where you were going to thank your husband, while I'm standing there on stage like an idiot, thinking we have a real marriage. Other gala attendees were starting to notice the scene in the hallway. People glancing over, whispering. Claire saw them. Please, can we not do this here? My colleagues. Your colleagues just watched you thank your husband while your boyfriend sat in the audience, I said. I think your professional reputation is already compromised. Michael pulled off his wedding ring, handed it to Claire. We're done. I'm filing for divorce Monday morning. Michael, please. Please what? Please forgive you for cheating on me for 2 years? Please ignore that you've been using him for money while using me for stability? No, we're finished. He walked away, back into the ballroom to collect his things. I looked at Claire. I want my $8,700 back. The table, the gown, the styling. You obtained all of that under false pretenses. I don't have $8,000. Then you'll be hearing from my attorney. Fraud. I walked back into the ballroom. My table guests were getting ready to leave, the event winding down. I thanked them for coming, apologized for the disruption, made my exit. Drove home to Dilworth in a daze. The next morning I called my attorney. David, I need to sue someone for fraud. I spent $8,700 on a company gala table and styling for my girlfriend. Last night I found out she's married. She accepted an award thanking her husband while I sat in the audience after paying for her to be there. Do you have proof she misrepresented her marital status? 250 witnesses saw her husband on stage with her. I have text messages showing our relationship. I have receipts for everything I paid for. That's clear fraud. She obtained money from you based on false representation. File it. The lawsuit was filed Tuesday. Claire Donovan, defendant, sued for $8,700 plus costs and fees for fraud and misrepresentation. Wednesday, I got a call from Michael. Ryan, it's Michael Donovan. I wanted to let you know I've filed for divorce. My attorney said you're suing Claire. Yes, for the money I spent on the gala under false pretenses. Good. She deserves it. I hope you win. How are you doing? Honestly, devastated. I thought we had a solid marriage. I had no idea she was seeing anyone else. I thought I was in a serious relationship heading toward engagement. She lied to both of us. Her bank found out about the situation. The whole gala saw what happened, saw you and me confronting her in the hallway. It's all over Charlotte banking circles. She's been put on administrative leave, pending an investigation into whether she misrepresented her personal situation on company documents. I'm sorry this is affecting her career. I'm not. She did this to herself. Over the next few weeks, things developed. Claire tried to fight the lawsuit initially. Her attorney argued the gala table was a business expense I would have incurred anyway. My attorney countered with evidence that I'd only bought the table to support Claire, that I'd explicitly told her I was doing it for her achievement, that the gown and styling were purely personal expenses I'd covered believing we were in a serious relationship. By early December, Claire settled. She agreed to pay back the full amount over 12 months, monthly payments of $725. Michael's divorce was proceeding quickly. North Carolina required a year's separation before divorce, but they'd filed separation papers immediately. Claire had lost her job at Carolina First Bank. The administrative investigation had found she'd listed Michael as her spouse on HR documents and emergency contacts while simultaneously conducting a relationship with me and using company events, like the gala, as part of the deception. Mid-December, I ran into one of the people who'd been at my gala table, a CFO from a regional bank I consulted for. Ryan, I wanted to reach out after what happened at the gala. That was a tough situation. How are you holding up? I'm okay. It was eye-opening. Everyone in Charlotte banking has been talking about it. Claire's name is mud in this industry. What she did, accepting an award thanking her husband while her boyfriend sat in the audience. That's legendary levels of deception. I'm just glad I found out before I proposed to her. You were planning to propose? I was getting there. Probably would have happened in the next 6 months. Dodged a bullet. By January, I was completely reset. The house felt like mine again. Claire had never officially lived with me, so there wasn't much to clear out, but I'd removed all traces of her presence. Started taking Southern cooking classes, proper low-country cuisine, Carolina barbecue, regional specialties. The traditional cooking was grounding. Work continued its normal rhythm. Financial services consulting, working with banks across the Southeast, the professional network that had been momentarily disrupted by the gala scene, but had stabilized. I thought about that night sometimes. Sitting in the ballroom watching Claire accept an award. Hearing her thank her husband Michael. Watching a stranger walk on stage to embrace her. The slow realization that I was the other man in someone else's marriage. The 250 banking professionals who'd witnessed it. The hallway confrontation. The text messages shown to her actual husband. The public collapse of her carefully constructed double life. I didn't feel triumphant about Claire's situation. I felt clear about the decision I'd made. I'd spent $8,700 supporting what I thought was my girlfriend's career achievement. She'd used that money to shine at an event where she thanked her husband. Better to find out in a ballroom full of witnesses than alone in private, where she could have continued lying. I didn't feel vindicated. I felt whole. When your girlfriend accepts an award on stage thanking her husband, and it's not you, do you assume there's been a mistake in the announcement, or do you immediately know you've been lied to about her entire marital status? Share your perspective in the comments.